Good afternoon and welcome to ICU TV Lunch News. We take a look at the stories making headlines. President Hakainde Hichilema congratulates Malawi's president-elect, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika. Government suspends operation at China 11th chemical construction company over labor violation. Chingola Council leads clean energy drive with solar installation. In international news, Peter Mutharika declared Malawi's president-elect. In sports news, Copper Queen gears up for WAFCON qualifiers and World Cup dreams. With the news in details, my name is Peter Jameson Ngerelwa. President Hakainde Hichilema has extended warm congratulations to Malawi's president-elect Professor Peter Arthur Mutharika and Vice President-elect Justice Dr. Jane Mayenu Ansah. He has also commended outgoing President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera for upholding democratic values and demonstrating statesmanship in accepting electoral outcomes. President Hichilema praised Malawians for conducting a peaceful elections and setting a strong example for democracy in Africa. The Ministry of Labor and Social Security has suspended operations at China 11th Chemicals Construction Company and 5 other subcontracted firms working under United Capital Fertilizer for gross violation of Zambia's labor laws. Maparo Kasama has more in the following report.
The Ministry of Labor and Social Security has suspended operations at China 11th Chemicals Construction Company alongside 5 other firms contracted by United Capital Fertilizer for violating multiple labor laws. The indefinite suspension comes after revealing findings by labor inspectors who uncovered a series of serious breaches at the construction site. Key violations included failure to issue employment contracts, paying workers below the statutory minimum wage, lack of pay slips, and non-payment for overtime. Inspectors also flagged poor sanitation, inadequate protective gear, and absence of lavatory facilities. Workers were found to be physically abused and unregistered under Social Security and health insurance schemes. Each company has been fined 160,000 kwacha under Section 133 of the Employment Code Act No. 3 of 2019, with payment due by October 15, 2025. Minister of Labor and Social Security, Brenda Tambatamba, who addressed workers during the inspection, emphasized that decent work is a cornerstone of national development and productivity.
That's why tifika kuno, si kuno kweka, tienda monse. Simuno mulustaka mweka, na konse, niye nchito yatu, niye nchito yangu. Tili timu ya mbili, Ministry of Labor, mwaona minister lero pano, tefyo? Alipano kuti, making sure kuti, nchito ienda bwino, kwenda bwino kwa nchito ni kukonka labor law. Tabwela lero tapitamo muyonse la mulo ya menedi mu labor law, Industrial Relations Act, Munapsa Act, Munima Act, Muzirim Act, Mu Occupational Health and Safety Act, tapitamo monse. No tandiza wa employer banu. Nabo ni partner batu, na imwe ndimwe partner batu. Manje partnership ni kukonka la mulo. President Hakainde Hichilema sazi wa vovo verana. Savi funa vovo verana. Akakugwira umverana uzange na mudende. Uzanga weka. Sota uzana pano uti ujamene mukaone omene achita kusaidi report to the police. Police report kudek, report kuleba. Siti bwerera kuti the person pasaidi kulibe.
Meanwhile, Labor Commissioner Givens Montengwa, who led the inspection, emphasized that the absence of safety measures directly contradicts Zambia's Vision Zero campaign, which aims to eliminate workplace injuries and fatalities. Mr. Montengwa also directed that all wage arrears be settled, overtime paid, and payslips introduced, warning that operations will not resume until full compliance is confirmed.
Is that we have found employees working without proper personal protective equipment. And because of that, we cannot allow the operations to continue. Zambia hosted the Vision Zero in Livingstone, where the minister officiated. That was to ensure that we must have no fatal accidents at places of work. So we cannot wait for accidents to happen. So before accidents happen, we must mitigate the situation by ensuring that no life is lost, no one is injured. So in that regard, we are suspending operations until you buy the PPEs for the employees, and we shall have to come and inspect. So the suspension will go on for as long as you wish not to buy the equipment. So if you don't buy it today, you are closed. If you don't buy it tomorrow, you are closed. If you don't buy it the whole next week, you'll be closed until you buy the personal protective equipment. While they are on this period of suspension, the employees, they shall continue to receive their wages as if they are reporting for work. This is pursuant to Section 10, subsection 5 of the Employment Code.
As China 11th Chemicals Construction and its contractors face a full halt in operations, the ministry sends a clear message. Worker welfare is not optional. It's the backbone of national productivity and it must be upheld. Mapaloka Sama, reporting for ICTV News in Lusaka.
The Ministry of Local Government has commended Chingola Municipal Council for spearheading the shift to clean energy by installing solar power at public institutions. Minister Gift Siaruvalo praised the council for setting the pace, noting that most government facilities in the district are now solar-powered. Chingola MP Chipoka Mulenga said powering schools and other institutions with solar will boost service delivery and reduce operational costs. Over 10 kilometers of urban roads are under construction in Solwezi, with works progressing on culverts, roadbeds, and pavement compaction to bituminous standards. The project aligns with President Hichilema's call for visible development in mining areas that power the economy.
Work on selected urban roads right here is underway in Solwezi. Machines are on the ground, engineers are supervising, and roads are taking shape. This is the rehabilitation and upgrading of the 10.19 kilometers of selected roads to bituminous standard. Now the contract is valued at 272 million kwacha, fully financed by the government of the Republic of Zambia through the National Road Agency. And so contractor JD Con Limited is on site, as you can see. The consultant Eliso Consulting is monitoring progress.
It's 3.2 kilometers. Then we have got a road in Stadium, which is 2.1, as well as the fourth one, which is Faith Road, which is 1.4 kilometers. So far, the work concentration is here in Zambia Kimasa Road, which is 5.3 kilometers. And the scope of the work itself is we have got 3 layers, which we are working on. We have got the subgrade layer, which has been done already. We have got a sub-base, which is cement stabilized layer, 150 mm. This one also has been done and is in progress. And then also we have got the crushed stone base, which is also 150 mm. And finally, we will have the asphalt concrete, which is 40 mm. So far, I would say on Zambia Kimasa Road, we have done about 2 kilometers of stabilized base. And we have also progressed with crushed stone base about 1 kilometer out of the 5.3 kilometers.
Crosspipe culverts at kilometer 0 plus 245 and kilometer 0 plus 740 are already in progress. Financials. Advance payment, 54.4 million kwacha released in tranches. Interim payment certificate number 2, 11 million kwacha submitted awaiting disbursement.
That the work as it is progressing is now nearing the wearing course, and by next week we should start the asphalt concrete. At the beginning there was that skepticism that we won't reach this stage, but I'd like to assure them that we have worked very hard. All the stakeholders, the government has been paying on time.
For years, Solwezi carried the reputation of a mining town with dusty faces and muddy streets.
We are coming from a dusty times. If you look at 2018 going down, we're in dust. So in terms of the facelift of Solwezi, in terms of infrastructure in the road sector, we are moving in a positive direction.
A place where billion-dollar investments in copper and gold stood in sharp contrast to roads that struggled to match the city's economic weight. And so the reputation is being stripped away kilometer by kilometer. As these roads are paved, Solwezi begins to look like the mining capital it already is. The economic status of the town starts to align with the scale of investment flowing from its mines. Traders move goods faster, families travel safely, investors see a city ready to grow. This project is not just about smoother rides. It is about dignity for residents, pride for the province, and a clear signal that Solwezi is stepping into its rightful place as a city. This is the president's vision in action.
In this country, nobody puts $1.25 billion in a project located in a country and an environment you have not trust.
A 28-year-old man of Mufrida has been sentenced to 2 years and 9 months imprisonment with hard labor for stealing power cables belonging to Mulonga Water Supply and Sanitation Company. The convict, Brian Wotoira, stole 22 kilograms of power cables valued at nearly 6,000 kwacha from the Mopani Copper Mines treatment plant on September 14, 2025. Wotoira was apprehended shortly after the incident was reported. Minister of Water Development and Sanitation, Engineer Collins Njovu, has welcomed the sentence, describing it as a milestone in a fight against vandalism and theft, which he says continues to disrupt service delivery in the water and sanitation sector. The minister has since directed all water utility to intensify the prosecution of such cases to deter would-be offenders and safeguard the country's critical water infrastructure. We take a short break. Coming back, it's international and sports news. Peter Mutharika declared Malawi's president-elect. Copper Queens gear up for WAFCON qualifiers and World Cup dreams.
The Information and Communications University is driving the thrill for the nation in research and development. Enroll now for full-time and distance programs in the School of Engineering, Humanities, Business and Education. To apply, visit our website at www.icuzambia.net or call us on +260 211 221 662 or 0966 342 359. Sponsorship is available. Enroll now.
Welcome back, and now in international news. The Malawi Electoral Commission (MEC) has officially declared Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika of the Democratic Progressive Party (DPP) as the winner of the country's September 16, 2025 presidential elections. Miriam Gamani has more in the following report.
In a major political comeback, former Malawian President Peter Mutharika has been officially declared the winner of the 2025 presidential election. The Malawi Electoral Commission announced the final results on Wednesday, confirming Mutharika of the Democratic Progress Party (DPP) as the new head of state after securing a commanding 56.8% of the valid votes, a total of 3,035,249.
I declare candidate Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika as the president-elect of and Justice Dr. Jane Mayemo Ansah AC retired as the president and vice president-elect of the Republic of Malawi following the September 25 presidential general election.
A Incumbent President Lazarus Chakwera, who had already conceded defeat on Tuesday night, received 1,765,170 votes, accounting for 33%.
From those official results, it was clear that my main rival, His Excellency Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika of the Democratic Progressive Party, had already secured an insurmountable lead and is the presumptive winner of the presidential election. For this reason, a moment ago, I called Professor Mutharika directly to congratulate him on his historic victory and to wish him well in his upcoming tenure as the 7th President of the Republic of Malawi.
Mutharika's landslide win swept across all three regions, including critical battlegrounds where the DPP previously struggled. Chakwera, meanwhile, saw his influence diminish, returning only a handful of districts in the central region and notably losing Lilongwe City, once his political stronghold. With 5.3 million valid votes and over 155,000 voided ballots, this election marks a defining moment in Malawi's democratic journey, not only for its peaceful transition, but for its overwhelming mandate handed back to a former leader. With this announcement, the 85-year-old former president returns to power after 5 years out of office. Malawans have once again exercised their democratic right, ushering in a new chapter of leadership. The swearing-in ceremony is expected to take place 7 days after the announcement of the results, according to the Malawi's constitution. Miriam Deborah Gamani reporting for ICU TV News in Lusaka.
We now take a short break. Stay tuned for sports news.
Did you know that mental health conditions are treatable and recovery is possible? Hi, I'm Ngenia Febamoyo. I'm your host on Let's Talk Mental Health. I invite you all to this show where you freely express yourself, and together we find a solution. For more details, you can contact 0777 93 73 92, and we'll be there to help you find solutions to whatever you're going through.
Welcome back, and now in sports news. The Zambian women's national team is set to resume their journey in the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON qualifiers for next month. They will face Namibia in the crucial two-leg tie, with the winner advancing to the WAFCON 2026 in Morocco, which doubles as a qualifier for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup in Brazil. The Copa Queens qualifications for WAFCON 2026 is a vital step forward, securing a spot in the World Cup, with 4 direct slots allocated to the WAFCON semi-finalists and 2 teams advancing in intercontinental playoffs. Coach Nora Hartford has named a 42-member provision squad, and the team will play Namibia on October 22nd in the South Africa and October 26th in Indora. That sports item brings us to the end of our lunchtime news at ICU. We take a quick recap for the news, the stories making headlines. President Hakainde Hichilema congratulates Malawi's president-elect, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika. Government suspends operations at China 11th Chemicals Construction Company over labor violations. Chingola Council leads clean energy drive with solar installation.